Our worst fears are being realized as we may see another lockdown coming to the United States. Yeah, folks, another lockdown. Are you ready for that? It's now starting with the renewed talks of mandating masks once again for people all over the nation. Here's a quick question for you. Are any of you guys willing to comply?
COVID cases are on the rise across the nation and in our area, which means something many of us thought we'd seen the last of is back. Businesses, hospitals, even colleges, including one in our area, reinstating mask mandates. So will there be more to come as we head into the fall? And are people ready to be forced to mask up again?
New data shows we're not out of the woods just yet with COVID-19. In fact, the numbers show the last few weeks it's sent more Americans to the hospital, with an increase of more than 20% from last week in deaths and hospitalizations nationwide.
But wait a second, I thought the pandemic was over. I swear I thought we were being told by President Joseph Biden himself that we were done.
The president says he believes the COVID-19 pandemic is over.
Is this because an election's coming up? Nah, I'm just kidding with that one. But seriously though, I thought we were done with this entire masking thing.
Celebration in the sky as masks come off by the thousands.
Masks are now optional.
Oh, yeah! Flight attendants who for 2 years enforced the mask mandate are now collecting masks in trash bags. This JetBlue flight attendant did a happy dance.
Oh my God, it's like that's gonna happen. Give them in the air like you just don't care.
And it's all over the news again, folks. This is the time when we were being reconditioned. I think that's the right term, right? Because they conditioned us a lot to react to the health crisis this way, but now they're reconditioning us to get used to wearing masks once again. Y'all ready? Now, one person is actively thinking about this, and it looks like he realized that forcing people to do anything at a great scale, well, at least I hope he learned this through the health crisis.
How worried are you that people will not follow advice to wear masks if we get to that?
Well, Michael, that's a very good question. As you said, if we get to that, I mean, we're starting to see a surge of cases, as you mentioned, about an 18 or 19% increase in hospitalizations, certainly going in the wrong direction with looks like a late summer and into the fall surge. How bad it's going to get, we don't know. As you know, this is a very unpredictable virus, has shown us that over the last 3.5 years. I am concerned that people will not abide by recommendations. And we're not talking about mandates or forcing anybody, but when you have a situation where the volume of cases in society gets to a reasonably high level, particularly the vulnerable, those who are elderly and those with underlying conditions, are going to be more susceptible and vulnerable if they do get infected to get severe disease leading to hospitalization. We know that. That's a fact. We've seen that. So I would hope that if in fact we get to the point where the volume of cases is such and organizations like the CDC recommend, CDC doesn't mandate anything, I mean recommends that people wear masks, I would hope that they abide by the recommendation and take into account the risk to themselves and to their families. And again, we're not talking about forcing anybody to do anything.
Oh boy, so where do I start with this one? This guy's a national treasure at this point, huh? You see how he worded this, right? How careful he was? Because he just knows that the jig is up. He knows a lot of people are awake and won't be easy to manipulate. Tell you what, let's show him the numbers. If you think that they're now lining up for these recommendations to soon be turned into mandates, smash the like button. Let them know, all right? Because that just jumpstarts the algorithm and shows this video to countless other people who know how to think for themselves. And if you happen to be one of these people, make sure to subscribe to the channel because you will not regret hearing the updates that I have for you guys today. Now, going back on topic, I have footage to show you guys, and it's insane just how far apart these reports were. So let's go ahead and start with this one.
The medical director at the Inova Children's ER says they're in crisis mode.
3 days of fever, cough, congestion.
Overwhelmed, like many hospitals, with a dangerous viral tripledemic. The start of the flu season, the ongoing COVID threat, and RSV infecting large numbers of children who spent much of the pandemic isolated in virus-free bubbles.
Now, that video will be called Exhibit A, all right? So on to Exhibit B.
A trifecta of infections are ready to potentially cause havoc with your health.
We see changing patterns of people going back to school, people being indoors in close proximity to each other, And that is usually what kicks off respiratory virus season.
RSV, influenza, and COVID-19 are expected to circulate in the U.S. over the next few months, and a senior White House official says COVID-19 will likely have the biggest impact.
We've never gotten to zero. The hospital admissions have never gone to zero. Now we're living in this a bit of a fantasy world where we're pretending that COVID is not relevant.
An updated COVID vaccine is expected next month, and shots for the flu and RSV are already available.
Here's my question. How far apart in terms of time are these two videos? A few days? A week? Any guesses, guys? The answer is they're almost a year apart. Can you believe that? And this is why I'm trying to tell you guys about this. Why I'm asking you to like these videos, because the message is very, very clear. They're doing it so subtly, but the message is the same. They want you and me to put these masks back on, get the jabs like subservient citizens, and wait for the possible lockdowns. But don't worry, the CDC is already calming our nerves. They're telling us that they're not going to issue mandates, all right? Relax. It's all good. Don't worry, guys. But I'm sorry, folks. I just had to do it. But they did also say that they're going to adjust their recommendations accordingly. What does that mean? And like, didn't President Biden recommend us all to get jabs with this new variant? Now, don't get me wrong, guys. If you want to go ahead and get masked up, go right ahead. You want to get jabbed? Do your thing. Be my guest. I don't really care personally. It's your choice. It's your call. You have the most basic right to do what you want to do with your body. I'm not here to be a judge, but the problem with what's happened in recent years is that some Americans felt as if their most basic rights were being taken away from them. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you own a home, make sure your home is protected. Get your free home warranty quote. You'll find a link in the description down below this video. Never, ever, ever be caught off guard by another very expensive home repair again. Get your free home warranty quote. There's a link in the description down below this video. Now, I just want to close out with this message from the White House because I found this line of questioning so funny. I mean, it was like giving a straight line to a comedian. You know what I'm saying? Sort of like setting up the joke. Although this one is not funny at all.
On that new vaccine that's going to be available in mid-September, the CDC data says that only 56 million Americans, 17% of the population, received the updated shot last year. What type of public messaging campaign or effort will the administration and the White House be doing starting in mid-September to get people to get that shot, to get more people than last year to get that shot?
As you know, Karen, this is an issue that you have followed very closely for the past 2 years, and you have known that this administration, when it comes to informing the American people about these vaccines, about the different tools that this president and this administration has put forward, we have really put informing Americans as a priority, and so we'll continue to do that. We know that COVID-19 vaccinations are the safest protection for avoiding hospitalization, long-term health outcomes, and death, and that is why we are going to continue to encourage Americans to stay up to date on their vaccines.
Great job, Karen. Way to set up the carnage for the line so that more and more people can line up to get jabbed compared to last year. But what do you guys think about all this? Make sure you share your thoughts in the comment section down below. And before I go, guys, I just want to thank you so much for helping out to spread this information, to spread these important updates. Thank you for liking the videos. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Check out my previous videos, and I'm going to check you guys on the next one.